everybody, welcome to Chrysalis on the Couch. I'm Kay and I'm going to be running this session today. We're going to be talking about pets as therapy, and today I'm joined by Laura, who is a year 3 student, and Kaz is a year 2 student.
Hi.
And Joe is just coming up to finishing year 2. So all at slightly different places. So if you enjoy this, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. So pets as therapy. Now, I've never been without a pet my entire life, and it would seem really, really weird without one. Very quiet in the house. And, you know, the one thing I do know is that they're very, very good companions and they're very loving. And I know a lot of people prefer their pets to humans. Yeah. So what's your thoughts then, Laura, about pets and how they help us really, how they can be like an aid to healing, and they're just like therapy to us?
Yeah, I think it's an amazing idea. If you're an animal lover, I'm an animal lover, especially dogs. You know, they calm you just by stroking them. It's been proven to lower blood pressure and stuff, and you release oxytocins as well when you pet your dog. If you are an animal lover, I think it's a fantastic idea. They just give so much back, don't they? Like you said, it's just an extra little heartbeat in the house, isn't it? I'm a bit mad. I talk to him all the time like he's a person and expect him to answer me. But yeah, I think I wanted to actually get into it with my dog, but he's very friendly, but he's not always forthcoming with everyone, if you know what I mean. He can retreat a bit, so I don't think he's ideal for the role. He doesn't like everyone.
Oh, mine love everyone, but they would be absolutely manic. They would be jumping all over people, so would probably finish them off rather than
licking them to death, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you thinking, Kaz?
Well, I quite agree with dog therapy, only because obviously I'm massively dog person. In the past, dogs have been fantastic for me. I had a nervous breakdown about 10 years ago now, and without my dogs, I don't know where I'd been, because I couldn't leave the house, and it was in a really bad way, and basically they got me out. They really did get me out. So yeah, I think dog therapy is brilliant. I have tried in the past with my old dog to get him into therapy, but unfortunately, because I like collies, they can be a little bit unpredictable. So he actually didn't get the grade, bless him, but he's gone over the rainbow now. But I do have a new little girl collie who is not like a collie. She's a bit more laid back, and she's actually laying on the sofa behind me as I speak. Because she is my therapy dog. She always stays with me everywhere. And so she's under assessment at the moment. So hopefully I might be able to get her out to be to go around, you know, like the homes and things for therapy. So everything's fingers crossed with her. I might actually get out this time and do it.
Brilliant.
What do you need to do to go through that process?
You have to, basically, you apply online. It depends what one you want to do. You can have there's a pat dog, or there's a therapy dog. There's different, apparently. I'm trying for the therapy, which is where you go around, like, it's not just nursing homes for old people. It's like for Asperger's, autism, all, you know, those type of people as well. And you fill in a questionnaire of yourself, and then you sort of give what you feel is about your dog's personality, etc. And then they meet up with you. So I've done all the paperwork, and we've got that far. We're just waiting we're having a home check on Wednesday. see how she's in the home, and then I have to go and meet out in a walk as well, and see how she is there. I mean, the only thing with my Nell is because she was a rescue, she was abused by a farmer, obviously, who was a man. And although I've done lots of work on her over the last 2 years, she still every now and again will bark at a man. So that's the only thing that we may not get through again. But I thought, well, do you know what? I'm going to give this a go.
Yeah.
They pick up on energy, don't they? I think very easily, you know.
Yeah.
And there's probably some men that maybe appear like the guy she knew.
Oh, definitely, because it's older. It's like 60, because the farmer, he died and he was in his 60s. But it's always men of 60 plus with grey hair. And a lot of the time, if they've got a hat on as well. And also, we've noticed near a friend of mine, if he's a mechanic and he's got grey hair, obviously he's not 60, because obviously I'm not 60 yet. But if his overalls smell of oil or grease, she would start barking at him. But yet, when he hasn't got his overalls on, she goes up to him and starts kissing him.
Yeah, it's the memory, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah. How old is she?
She's now 3. Yeah, I got her at 14 months.
Oh, that's brilliant then. So she wasn't with him for too long. I can't bear any animal cruelty stories.
I don't think he actually abused her as in abuse. I think it was like because she came from Ireland. It was an Irish farmer. And he had 13 collies. And from what I can gather from her foster mum, who actually lived next door to the farm, it was like he loved his dogs, but old school way.
And they're there to work, I suppose.
Yeah,
dogs,
yeah. And obviously she was being trained to be a sheepdog as well. So, she was outside and, it's just a working life, I think. Whereas now she thinks she's Miss Princess and lays upside down on the bed.
I was going to say, that's why she's enjoying lying on your sofa.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a blankie up there and then she lays on the sofa behind me in my office. So, yeah.
Oh, you've got a dog, Joe?
Yes, I have. Yeah. So she was the best thing I ever did, really. I've always had dogs on and off most of the time, and I lost my old girl the first lockdown, and I thought, I'm not going to get another dog because, they're a tie, and, I had a lot of personal stuff going on. And then my mum died last April. And I don't know, it was complete impulse. We literally had no intention of buying a dog. And one popped up on my Facebook. And so we went along just to see.
Yeah, that never works.
No. And that was that. We came back via Pets at Home to buy all the dog stuff again. But no, she's been my saviour because, I'm going through a divorce. I've got my my mum's the death of my previous dog, and actually it's been something that's really, really helped my mental health. I mean, she gets me out. I have to, no matter how low or sad I'm feeling, she makes her presence felt, and she's a working cocker. So if she doesn't get her good run, about it. So regardless of the weather, whatever, I have to get out there every day for at least an hour and let her go. So from that, and it's just, I suppose it was just a distraction for me, really, as well. It was when you are lost in yourself one way or another, whether it be grief or whatever, you can become quite insular and quite sort of, I don't know, selfish. It's not selfish, but your problems are big, and just having that other little thing in the house to train, to care for, to all the rest of it just takes you outside of yourself a little bit. So
I think if you've got something else you've got to look after, you have to do it, don't you? And it's good because it gets you up.
You know, just getting up in the morning.
Mine
Like I
was
had
joining
to get up in
in.
the morning to let her out, otherwise I had to face the consequences. So, you know, rather than spending half a day under my duvet feeling sorry for myself, you know, I had to get up and, you know, get her out, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, it is good. I mean, all at the time, occasionally, you know, you're cursing because the evidence is all over your carpet and God knows what, but it's worth it for sure, definitely. And yeah, no, I absolutely love this dog more than any of the other dogs I've ever had, because my other dogs had been acquired when I was a mum with young kids, and so it was just kind of another thing to look after, whereas now I don't have young children anymore, and she's very much she is like my baby for sure. Absolutely, yeah.
And obviously Laura's dog wanted to join in.
Yeah, sorry.
And
we were talking about dogs, so he wanted to make himself known.
yeah. And Kaz, you all right? You were coughing, spluttering.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I got something in the back of my throat. I'm all right now.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay. And of course, I mean, it's not, we're talking about dogs, and I mean, I think, you know, where I live, there's so many dogs and all the dogs play and it's lovely, you know, but it's not just dogs that help us in that way, is it? I was watching something, can't remember what it was on, but it was about a guy and he'd been really depressed, and his mum bought him a cat, and this cat is so unusual because it literally sits on his shoulder all the time and just, it talks to him. What he loves most is that it talks to him whenever he says something. It like meows back at him like they're having a conversation, and it's really helped heal him. You know, he absolutely adores this cat. And while, I mean, my cat is just very independent and not wanting any fuss or anything, but when you get a cat like that, maybe the cat understands what he's going through. Your dog's just appeared, Joe.
Daisy.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, Cal, are you gonna come up? Oh, hello.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Wants to join in.
There she is. Well, you're famous. There you go.
Yeah. And I watched a film recently as well. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about a magpie that they called Penguin. And a woman is, she's paralysed. She had an accident and got paralysed, and so she's in a wheelchair. And this bird they find, and the bird is injured and can't fly, and they keep the bird and heal that and release it in the end. But you know, it sort of parallels the bird's story, is sort of paralleling her story, and it makes her feel better because the bird is so chirpy and trying to, you know, improve all the time. So that was quite sweet. So even a bird can be healing as well.
So, and I think you know even like little pets like hamsters and stuff like that, again, you know, for children and that particularly, you know, it's it teaches you quite early on, doesn't it, to care for something else, and that something else depends on you. And it also teaches you about grief, you know, doesn't it, as well, and loss and stuff like that, but in a more manageable way, you know, hopefully preparing you a little bit for the adult world, you know. So yeah.
I know. We started getting dogs because when I was younger, my dad would never let me have a dog. So, and then when I first got married, obviously I was a nurse, so you know I couldn't really have one. And my husband worked in London. And then once the children come along, and because of my son, he got diagnosed with Asperger's when he was young, and the best thing I ever did was get this dog for him. Because it brought him out of himself, and he had something to talk to when he come home from school, and when he'd had a bad day at school, he focused on the dog. And it was fascinating really to watch the connection between the two as he grew up. And then unfortunately he grew up with the dog, and the dog died 2 years ago. And he was absolutely heartbroken. He was 18 then. and he actually had to take 2 days off work because of he was so heartbroken through it. But he now is coming around a bit to Nell, because to begin with he couldn't bond with her at all, but he does now, and he's getting that connection again like he did before with his old dog. And he's still got, I mean, although he works and stuff, he's still got signs of Asperger's. So yeah, no, it's fascinating watching it. It's the connection between the child, and now he's been an adult, but yet it's still the same connection.
You hear that a lot, don't you? Children that have got disabilities or some sort of problem, and the pet just really helps them a lot to get through that.
And then conversely, I mean, I've got a client on a work placement who is there for grief because of the loss of the dog. And she came because this dog came to her in a very difficult time in her childhood, and that dog has become her best and pretty much only friend, and it's died. And the loss she's feeling is just the same as if it was a human. And yeah, I mean, she's starting to realize now what the dog actually meant to her, but she came to therapy because nobody else kind of gets it. They're just there's a sort of an assumption that, oh well, it was a dog, come on, over it. But she has absolutely lost. She says it's the only thing that she spoke to for years, really, about what was going on and all the rest of it. And it's a huge loss. So it can be just as
There are special pet bereavement counsellors, aren't there? Because I think a lot of even therapists may not get the importance, of that animal, how important they become to someone.
No,
that's a common thing, isn't it? Oh, it's just a dog, or it's just a cat, or and you shouldn't be so worried about it.
If you're not an animal person, you don't get the bond that we have with them. I mean, Charlie, I haven't had children, so Charlie is my baby, and I know he represents he's so much more than a dog. He is, I don't know, I mean, I'll be in a right mess if anything happens to him. But I've got quite a lot of friends that aren't doggy people. They just don't get it. They're like, he's just a dog, smelly dog. They can't believe he's allowed on the sofa and he's allowed in my bed. But yeah, it's. So yeah, I can understand how it's a good idea to have a bereavement specialist for pets, I think, because some people just wouldn't get it.
Yeah. I know someone as well who had bipolar, and when he was in that depressed place, sometimes he was in bed for weeks, and he was bought a dog by his family, which meant he had to get up and he had to go out, and the dog liked going to the woods, and the change in him was remarkable. Just being able to get out and get out in nature, it made a real difference to his depressed state.
Well, you also meet people. I mean, I got Charlie when I'd moved over this way. I didn't know anyone, and I'd been here for about 6 months and still didn't really know anyone because of not having kids, and I wasn't working at the time. And oh my God, we just talked. Well, he doesn't. I just so many people and talk to so many people, and now I can't go. Now I plan my route and go somewhere different when I need to do a quick walk and not talk to about 10 different people. So yeah, it's a good thing. It gets you out the house and gets someone to say good morning to if you live on your own and don't have to talk about that mental health issues.
It's very valid that, completely. I mean, I know somebody that actually met their now husband walking the dog for the same reason. It's somehow when you've got a dog, it's just an immediate common ground, isn't it? And the dogs start running around together, and immediately, you know, you start talking to, you know, someone else, and that you wouldn't, you know, if you passed them in Sainsbury's, you wouldn't stop to talk. But you know,
it's the dog, isn't it? It's the dog is the icebreaker, and like you say, the common ground. I would never talk to so many people if they didn't have the dogs with them on a normal day.
I've been asked out on dates on a dog walk.
You know,
Literally, like pulling magnet.
well, I'm a bit jealous now because I haven't, and
okay, obviously not walking in the right places.
I mean, around my village, as I said, there's so many people with dogs and cats, but you know, I meet so many people on walks, and we do stop and chat, and it's really weird because I don't know any of the people's names, but I know all the dogs' names.
Names.
I know. And I say, oh, it's you know, Bruce's daddy, or yeah. But I'll have to try that. I'll have to see if I can bump into a good-looking man.
Oh yeah, it's a good icebreaker. The difficulty is when you say no, and then you have to change your walk because you might run into them again.
Yeah, so it's good for lonely people, isn't it? And you know, whether they can get out or not, if they can get out and walk their dog, then they're gonna meet new people, maybe. And some little dogs that maybe don't need walking much, it's still really good company for old people and people that might be housebound. You know, it gives them a companion, doesn't it? And we know the power of just touch and stroking, just that stroking the fur and stuff can be really, brings in that relaxation response.
And it's the unconditional love as well. The fact
it
doesn't matter how shitty your mood or how sad you are or how happy or whatever, you know, I mean, my goodness, you'll never find another human that's as pleased to see you when you if you did, you'd probably be a bit worried, but
and they pick up on your mood as well, don't they? They know when you're sad and you need a bit of love, and you know, when you want to have fun, they sort of read. I know mine, they read my mind.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think my little girl definitely reads my mind. She even talks to me.
Yeah, they are very, very clever animals.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, she knows when I'm sad, and you know, and then I love the fact that she just comes up and gets there, snuggles up to me, and it's like, oh, and it always
it's
makes
like saying, I'm here for you, Mum, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and it just puts a smile back on your face, and you think, oh, you know, and then she'll have a little. She talks to me as well. She goes. But as you say, people that don't have dogs don't really get it.
No, and I mean, we can all be attracted to different animals, can't we? And I think there's lots of experiences that are healing. I mean, I swam with dolphins, you know, and being in the water with them dolphins was so amazing. Just made me feel so wonderful. And you know, they're such intelligent, amazing creatures, and I know that, you know, again, kids with problems and stuff, they've sent them swimming with dolphins, and there's been huge changes in them just from that experience. Anyone done any other sort of animal experiences that?
I've only swam with dolphins like yourself. And that was when the kids were little, but yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. It's something you'll never forget.
I to tiger once.
Yeah,
in Thailand. It was a monastery where they had these tigers, and they used to let them. Oh, it's a bit of a touristy thing. I don't know. You know how good. I mean, some might say maybe they were doped up. They said, these monks were saying, no, it's not that they're doped up. We just make sure that they're really well fed so that they're a little bit sleepy when you go in. But yeah, I wouldn't say that was a therapy though. That was actually terrifying. I was like,
But I mean, I know there was a story I read a few years ago again about this guy. He was suicidal. You know, a lot of things had gone wrong in his life, and he didn't have anyone left in his life, and he didn't know what to do, and he was thinking about taking his own life and how to do that. And then he decided he wouldn't do that, and he just got on his motorbike and rode, and he didn't know where he was going or where he was going to end up or anything. And he just took off, and he went through various places. And I think, you know, like just that freedom and being on the road was slightly healing and beneficial for him. But he ended up at this place, he stopped at this place, and there was like an elephant orphanage. And there was this one elephant that had been abused and had a really awful time. And he spent loads of time with this elephant, and he just decided to stay in this place. And he went and helped the elephant every day, and they built up this real bond. And he said they healed each other. You know, he was completely healed, and the elephant was also healed from their connection. You know, and I thought that was so lovely, because, you know, it's obviously in this awful state, and then it was an elephant rather than anything else that really helped him. You know.
Yeah, I used to, and just thinking of animal experiences, my uncle was a farmer, and so we used to go up there at Easter when they just had the lambs. And there was always the orphan lambs, so I always used to spend a couple of weeks looking after the orphan lambs, feeding them and stuff like that. And it was amazing. So we kept in this old barn, and it's like they got to know you, you know. I think that's the thing. I'm not a vegetarian, but I don't eat lamb. And I think that was kind of why. And you'd walk in and they'd be following you around. It's like they thought you were their mum, you know, because you come on with these bottles, and, you know, and that was wonderful. Yeah, beautiful. As I still have a problem with the meat now.
And we talk about in therapy, we talk about, you know, wounded healers, and a lot of therapists go into it because they really want to help themselves by helping others. And I suppose it's the same thing when we help an animal, you know, that also helps us, doesn't it? To heal. So yeah, I've rescued lots of, I always seem to get in situations where there's an animal needed help. You know, I've rescued a pigeon, and the cat brought a rabbit into the garden in its mouth, and I had to catch that and release it. And there was a damn goose that got out through a wire fence, and me and my friend were running around trying to catch this goose. And I mean, they're really difficult animals. But I wasn't satisfied till we'd caught it and sort of put it back in with the others. And yeah, so I always seem to be in situations where something needs rescuing. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was little, my granddad was really into birds. He used to have canaries and stuff. And there was a baby bird, I think it was just a starling, that he found outside his caravan, tiny little newborn. And he hand reared it, and I had to go to with a, you know, like a little syringe, giving it milk. It was amazing, and he kept it for ages until he was strong enough and flew off.
Oh.
I wish I could be a vegetarian. I've tried it, but it never lasts long. I hate the idea of what I'm doing, eating animals. But
I'm the same. But I just try not to think about it too much. I don't think too deeply about it, because if I start thinking deeply about it, then it's like
Well, I mean, I am a vegetarian. So. Hey?
I tend to just eat chickens, because I don't know why, because I don't like chickens quite
no,
as
I'm saying it has to be chicken breast. I'm like a child. I can't have any sort of skin or any, you know, a chicken leg reminding me that I'm actually eating a chicken.
Oh no, yeah.
Well, I think you should all stop and become vegan. You know, I feel guilty, to be honest, if I grow my own lettuces and I have to pick one, I wonder if it actually feels anything, you know, and is sort of screaming silently. So
Are you vegan then, Kay?
yeah.
Oh wow! How long have you been vegan for?
Well, vegetarian. I mean, if it's essential, if I'm somewhere and I can't get anything, I will eat an egg.
Yeah.
But I don't most of the time. And I mean, I started being vegetarian like when I was 21.
Oh wow.
So yeah, many
Yeah.
years without giving me age away. So yeah, it just doesn't feel right to me. You know, I love all animals so much. And I think they want so little really from us, you know, compared with what they give to us, don't they? I mean, I moan constantly about my dogs because they're very noisy and demanding, and like they follow me to the toilet, and they spin and bark at me when they want something, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, just stop the noise. I don't like the noise. But you know, most of the time they're sitting there in the beds being little angels, and they love everybody and love all other dogs and wouldn't hurt a fly, and they don't really want an awful lot, do they, when you think about it.
Yeah. Just some love and a walk and to be fed. Yeah. They teach you a lot, actually, animals, don't they, as well, because they are very forgiving. You know, you're talking about rescue dogs, and okay, a lot of them have issues at first, but a lot of them, you know, most of them bond with a human again and trust a human after they've been through awful stuff. I bought a book actually in the it doesn't matter where, but a book that says lessons in life that my dog has taught me, and it's so lovely. It's just like little quotes, but it's so true about waking up every day, and you know, every day is a fresh day, and you're always ready for a party, and yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, they don't hold on to grudges, do they? Very forgiving, you know.
Yeah,
not thinking about past or the future. They're just in the moment.
In the moment, yeah.
Yeah,
what's for food?
Yeah, we could learn a lot about that, couldn't we? Being in the moment and just enjoying the moment.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, what's
happening, Cass? You're still there?
Hello. Oh, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
That's interesting. So, is your dog's vegetarian?
Oh, my dog's vegetarian.
Yeah, if you're vegetarian,
they have dried food,
right?
Obviously, it has got meat in it because, you know, dogs, I believe, probably should eat meat. But as long as I can't see it and it doesn't look like meat,
yeah,
I'm happy to feed it to them.
Yeah, and they would in the wild, wouldn't they? So
yeah. But I mean, horses as well. I used to have horses. I rode for years and had horses. And again, they really pick up on how you're feeling. They know if you're nervous. They know if you're scared of them. And they also know if you're upset. And I worked for a while when I was a teenager at a riding for the disabled. And some of those horses and ponies were just so good with those disabled riders. You know, they'd be as good as gold while they got on. And obviously that's another thing that really helps the kids. They used to love coming to that farm and riding the horses. They really got a lot out of that. It was very healing for them. But it was really interesting to see when we got on the horses, they were completely nuts. You know, they'd be really quiet and plod along. And then when we got on them, they knew instantly that, you know, oh, this one can ride and he's okay, so I'm going to go mad. Yeah, I remember I was taken off with a few times across the field, you know, this sort of docile horse when I got on, and it was like, shoof. So they really do understand the difference and what's going on.
Yeah.
Hello, you.
I wanted to make an appearance.
Oh,
we went to a friend's house once, and this distant relative turned up, and he would not stop growling like a real low ooh every time he came near him. And then when he left, my friend was like, oh yeah, that's weirdo cousin whoever that he's, you know, got all these issues and causes loads of trouble, and he's not our favourite person. And it was like, I don't know if he picked up on their vibes or he just didn't like this guy.
They do though, don't they? I mean, my dogs love everybody normally, but sometimes we'll go past someone and Rosie will just start barking at them.
Yeah.
And there's something about them she's picked up on, and I just think, well, they can't be a very nice person in whatever way, because you know, she loves everybody, so the fact that she's barking at them means something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is very cute.
It's very cute.
What about getting him a little sister?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. Need to iron out his bad habits first, like bursting in on phone calls.
Oh,
Bursting in on Zoom meetings.
that's the trouble, you know. I had Rosie and then got another one, and he would be an angel. I know he would if she wasn't there, but he has picked up on some of her bad habits, like barking at me in the morning to get out of bed.
Yeah.
I really don't appreciate. Oh yeah, it's up on some of that. Oh yeah, so I mean, I think all animals can be healing in their own way. You know, people keep all sorts, don't they? Reptiles, and I mean, my cousin always had snakes. Some people have spiders, or I've had rats in the past, and they were lovely. But as long as it's something that appeals to us, I think it can be healing and beneficial.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
For sure.
Pets are good, aren't they? Pets are good. And even wild animals. You know, there's lots of stories about people that have been like stuck in the wilderness and they've been helped by a wild animal. You know, wolves have been, I love wolves, but wolves have been known to keep children safe before when they've got lost. And I know somebody who made friends with a bear.
Wow.
And I think wild animals and orangutans and gorillas and stuff as well, you know, they've got such human qualities in the way they take care of their young, and they can also help humans. As long as, I think most wild animals, as long as they're not starving hungry, they're okay. And you see so many animals getting on well together, you know, and I mean, I had little tiny baby rabbit that I bought, and he was like this big when I got him. And my dog, who was a great big collie cross Labrador, and he just used to sit and protect him. They used to sit between his legs, and he just used to lick his ears sometimes. And they sort of get on, you know. All animals can get on in the right environment. So they help each other as well as us.
Definitely.
But anyway, so we better stop now. So anyone out there got any problems? The answer is get a pet.
Definitely.
Yeah. So thank you for listening, and if you've enjoyed this, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel, and watch out for the next one, which will be coming sometime soon. So it's goodbye from Chrysalis, goodbye from us for now, and I'll probably see you again soon. So cheerio.